Even I got selected in Indian Navy, and I left it because I wanted to become a civil engineer.
Experience is not about UI at all.
Tesla for the world is not Tesla for the India.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the second episode of the Witty Peanuts podcast. So, our guest for the day has been a startup founder twice actually. Then he became a designer, and right now he is kicking ass as a senior product manager at Echo. So, in today's episode, we'll be exploring themes around design, product, management, and leadership, and then a little bit about upcoming tech as well. So, let's jump into it. Welcome to the podcast, Himanshu Agarwal, aka Designer Bania. तो हिमांशु की स्टोरी क्या है? Your LinkedIn says everything about startup and product management, but I know that you were a designer first.
Yeah, the story was very simple. A civil engineer who wanted to become a great civil engineer. I joined the job, and within 3 months, I realized this is not what I want to become in my life. I had never had any idea that what I want to do other than that. So it was like literally an empty state for me at that point of time. But as like obviously life figured out itself, uh, वापस I came back to Jaipur, started something with friend to start discussing कि यार क्या करना है अब, and we had some idea what we wanted to pursue as a business opportunity, which we call shopsdeko.com, where you can explore nearby shops and figure out what all inventory they have, what all offers they have, and you can just start selling on it. And back then in 2014, deliveries used to take 7 to 8 days. So like getting something delivered in 2 hours, which we have thought like literally 9 years back was something very interesting, which like Zepto or Blinkit is trying to do right now. So it was really fascinating. But as naive I was, I had do not had any idea how to do it, and I failed miserably over there. बट इस जर्नी के अंदर क्या हुआ कि एक चीज समझ में आ गई यार, दिस इज सो लिबरेटिंग, राइट? This idea of building something and doing something wonderful so that a lot of people can get benefit out of it is super amazing, right? And that's what people call businessmen, entrepreneur, and multiple names with. And I wanted to become that. So the one thing I realized is I wanted to be this person who is building something very interesting, something very unique, which can help other people to achieve or do something what they want to do in their life. Like YouTube, they built a platform so that people like us can record a video, reach out to the right people, and so that they can get really benefit. Probably, if somebody who wants to become a designer or product manager, it's like they are hearing this conversation, they literally get something out of this, and that might change the course of their life. So, while doing that, because today's startup ecosystem requires you to build product, which is a core part of your company. If you do not have a product, probably you don't have a company. So in building a product, few skills are required, like design, product management, uh, your sales and marketing within included in the product, some finance knowledge on top of it, management and leadership as a individual skills, so that you can build the right set, right company, right culture, right things for the right user. uh, Along this journey, I acquired design, I acquired product management skills, I'm trying to acquire management leadership skills, and this and more of sales and marketing as well along with it, so that I will have right set of skills to build the right product for someday, for the user I want to go after, and that service can really be impactful and useful for the entire world. So the idea is always the entrepreneurship. It's just like picking the right skills while following that journey, and that's how I figured that this is my path.
All right, interesting. सो ये जो 3 मंथ वाला एक्सपेक्ट है आई थिंक वो मेरी स्टोरी में भी है बिकॉज माय फर्स्ट जॉब टेक्निकली वाज एन एसोसिएट प्रोडक्ट मैनेजर नो what was it shit I have forgotten the name the designation as well. I think assistant branch manager or something which is usually given to a management trainee जो MBA के बाद में आपका कैंपस प्लेसमेंट होता है वहां से
Which
this
company?
this was Mahindra Finance. तो नॉन मोहित जॉब था टेक्निकली मतलब लोन बेचना लोगों को कन्विंस करना कि भाई महिंद्रा का लोन लो, महिंद्रा की गाड़ी ले रहे हो तो, एंड आफ्टर दैट उनके पास कलेक्शन के लिए फॉलो अप करना। तो वो 3 महीने में मतलब काफी फाइनेंस वाली साइड देखी, काफी अलग दुनियादारी देखी मैंने। कुछ कुछ सीखने को भी मिला इंडीड, बट आई न्यू कि यार ये नहीं करना है मुझे, मतलब। और एक्चुअली मुझे कभी भी नहीं करना था ये, इट वाज जस्ट कि भाई कैंपस प्लेसमेंट हुआ और आपको एक्चुअली काफी डिसेंट पैकेज मिल रहा है। तो अब घर वालों को कैसे आप अदरवाइज कन्विंस करोगे, अनलेस यू हैव अ डिफरेंट अ सेम पैकेज और अ सिमिलर पैकेज in the industry that you want, which I didn't have at that point of time. So within those 3 months, I realized कि बॉस नहीं हो पाएगा, and then I somehow convinced my parents. They also supported me. Uh, उनका ऑफ कोर्स ये था कि मतलब कोशिश करो कि कर सको जहाँ पे भी करो अच्छा करो, बट दे नेवर फोर्स्ड मी कि नहीं नहीं यहाँ पे ज्यादा अच्छा पैसा है, बिकॉज आई टुक अ 1.5 लाख पे कट एट कार देखो तो, मतलब वो सिग्निफिकेंट अमाउंट होता है जब आपकी सैलरी बहुत थोड़ी थोड़ी सी होती है। बट माई पेरेंट्स सपोर्टेड मी एंड या इट वर्कड आउट वेल आई गेस।
या या आई कैन रिलेट विद दैट बिकॉज मुझे हमेशा सिविल इंजीनियर बनना था। मतलब मैंने डिसाइड कर लिया था अपने कॉलेज में दैट आई हैव गॉन फॉर इंटर्नशिप ऑफ एयरपोर्ट अथॉरिटी ऑफ इंडिया, नेशनल हाईवे अथॉरिटी ऑफ इंडिया, BL Kashyap and Sons, Jaipur Metro, Delhi Metro. I've figured like 5 internships. Nobody has ever done in my college, like for in a civil engineering branch at least. So I'm dead sure that I wanted to become a civil engineer. Even I got selected in Indian Navy and I left it because I wanted to become a civil engineer. I don't know what happened when I was there for 3 months. Actually, few of the things happened over there in 3 months. I got exposed to other new things, which got me interested into those things. So सिविल इंजीनियरिंग की बाहर की दुनिया मुझे नहीं पता थी, बट एक फ्रेंड मिला मुझे. ही हेल्प मी टू गेट द अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ डिजाइन वर्ल्ड कि हु इज स्टीव जॉब्स, हाउ ही थिंक्स. बहुत सारे इंडस्ट्री में डिजाइन टूल्स होते हैं. देर आर लाइक द एंटायर टाइपोग्राफी. So calligraphy, like Steve Jobs ने calligraphy learn करी and then he put it into the personal computing, and then how that's how they made a beautiful, uh, basically their entire the UI and yeah interface everything. So how that thing came to when that thing came to my understanding, it was like boom, everything changed. I learned about such a fascinating world which I have no idea about earlier. So now this person, because he's constantly teaching me, we decided to together something like building a t-shirt design company. Along with that, keeping startup ecosystem in mind कि हम एक कैफे बनाएंगे, उसमें लोग आ सकते हैं, फ्री नेटवर्किंग इवेंट होगा, फ्री कॉफी मिलेगी, हम पैसे इवेंट से बनाएंगे, हम साथ में मर्चेंडाइज बेचेंगे, बहुत सारा प्लान. Somehow we had a different vision. With each of the things we split uh, up, and we figured that we will do it our own ways differently. So I went my own way, but obviously it was very difficult for me to take a plunge, right? पहली नौकरी है मेरी भी. 27,000 रुपये मिलते थे मुझे, सारे बच जाते थे बिकॉज कोई खर्चा नहीं होता था. घर वाले बहुत खुश थे कि यार चलो कुछ तो कर रहा है, मतलब धीरे धीरे बेटर होगा. दे वांटेड मी टू बिकम प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजर इन सिविल इंजीनियरिंग. बट मैंने 3 महीने बाद पापा को फोन करके बोला, पापा मुझसे ये नहीं होगा. लाइक कोई बात नहीं, कुछ और कर लेंगे, जो होगा वो कर लेंगे, कोई टेंशन नहीं है. तो फैमिली का सपोर्ट वाज लाइक ह्यूज. आई हैड अ ह्यूज फैमिली सपोर्ट. कोई चैलेंज नहीं था मुझे. फिर मेरा एक दोस्त था मनीष जयपुर का. ही सेड यार मैं ऐसा कुछ सोच रहा हूँ, मतलब हम लोग ऑलरेडी पहले भी बात कर रहे थे. इफ यू गो बैक इन टू माई पास, स्कूल टाइम से ही हम लोग इस बारे में बात करते थे कि वो अपने अपने आइडियाज दिखाता रहता था. उसने फेस मैश डॉट कॉम बनाया, कुछ टेक्नोलॉजी कुछ कुछ बनाता रहता था फेसबुक को कॉपी करते हुए. एंड वी डिस्कस्ड एंड वी फिगर्ड यार दिस इज अ ग्रेट आइडिया, शॉप्स देखो वाला. एंड वी नेम्ड इट शॉप्स एक्सप्लोर अर्लियर देन शॉप्स देखो एंड एवरीथिंग. बट उस बंदे ने मुझे कॉन्फिडेंस दिया, घर वालों ने मुझे सपोर्ट किया. मुझे लगा ये पैसा मैं कहीं और से बना सकता हूँ, बिकॉज मैं अपने दोस्त डिजाइनर दोस्त से बात कर रहा था, धृतिमन, जो मुझे कैलकाटा में मिला था. एंड इन सब इंसिस ने, इसको बोलते हैं आई थिंक लक, इसी को बोलते हैं कि हाउ द गॉड इज डिफाइनिंग योर डेस्टिनी. That these things changed my perspective and I was able to leave the job and come back to Jaipur and start focusing on that. And then because मेरा वो inclination था design की तरफ, that get picked up, pick हुआ, and then eventually design से सब समझ में आया कि सिर्फ it's not only design, there are much more things which influence the overall product. Then I became PM.
And justify the name designer banya hai.
Yeah, so the interesting story behind this name is, as we figured that I wanted to become an entrepreneur, I wanted to build some product, and core to the product is like sales, like you have to sell something, right? तो लोग मुझे ये बोलते थे यार तू तो बनिया है, तू तो करेगा, तू तो बिजनेस ही करेगा. तो obviously like घर वाले भी बाहर सब everywhere I used to hear this like common thing बनिया and all. When I got interested in the design part and I got exposed to more things, I realized everything is design only. In this world, everything is design. God designed us, like the entire universe. Everything is design, how it's working. And obviously, Steve Jobs' ka famous definition, how it works is the real design, it's not how it looks. So I got understood that part. Ki I want to design something, like build some product, like, right? But building, because I'm not a coder, I can only design that part, ki how it should work, how it should be. Uh, and that's the moment I figured it's not only the product, it's the anything, designing a business in itself, organization design, service design, hardware, software, anything can be designed. And that moment I realized I am here to build something substantial. So, designer Bania, the one who is going to design businesses, not one business, but multiple businesses. So, that's where I figured that Bania is equal to business, designer is the one who designs. So, the one who designs businesses is a business designer, like designer Bania. Because it's very popular term, business designer in the West. Uh, so, I also referred that as a thing.
नाइस, इंटरेस्टिंग स्टोरी यार, मतलब काफ़ी यूनिक यूज़र नेम भी हो जाता है। लाइक मुझे बहुत एफर्ट मारना पड़ा टू फिगर आउट अ यूज़र नेम दैट इज़ कैची, दैट इज़ सिंपल एंड दैट इज़
Yes,
काइंड ऑफ
witty
रिलेटेबल.
peanuts.
But it doesn't have any interesting story behind it. It was just दो चीज़ों का तुक्का भिड़ गया और हमने बोला चलो इसको विटी पीनट्स बना देते हैं. But yeah, maybe I'll figure out a story eventually. I'll
No, I know. I think you are the one of the most funniest person I know in my network. And जब भी हमारी बात होती है, it's never a dull moment. So that's like that. You are justifying that tag itself. I'm definitely curious about the peanuts part.
यार पीनट्स की चलो लेट्स टॉक अबाउट इट. तो पीनट्स की स्टोरी कुछ ऐसी थी. सो देयर वाज दिस बॉक्स ऑन द टेबल. सो मी एंड माय वाइफ वी वर फिगरिंग आउट कि यार इसका क्या नाम रखें दैट इज लाइक अ कॉमन यूजर नेम अक्रॉस ऑल प्लेटफॉर्म्स, मिल भी जाए, सिंपल भी हो, कैची भी हो. क्योंकि मोहित के साथ में कुछ भी बनाना बहुत मुश्किल है, कंसिडरिंग मोहित इज वन ऑफ द मोस्ट कॉमन नेम्स इन इंडिया. अच्छा चलो बंदा कहता है चलो सरनेम के साथ बना लो. सरनेम है शर्मा, वो और भी कॉमन है मोहित से, ठीक है. तो मैं कुछ भी ट्राई कर रहा हूँ. मतलब एक प्लेटफॉर्म पे मिल जाएगा, दूसरे प्लेटफॉर्म पे नहीं मिलेगा, दूसरे पे मिल जाएगा, तीसरे पे नहीं मिलेगा. तो वो फिर एक एक वो ब्रांड आइडेंटिटी नहीं बन पाती है इफ यू हैव डिफरेंट यूजर नेम्स
Yeah,
अक्रॉस
yeah,
प्लेटफॉर्म्स, राइट.
yeah.
सो फॉर दैट ऐसे ही हम कुछ कर रहे थे कि चलो ठीक है, व्हाट सॉर्ट ऑफ कंटेंट वुड बी इन द चैनल. तो हमने कहा चलो अपन विटी बातें करेंगे, थोड़ा सा लाइक क्वर्की होगा, थोड़ा विटी होगा. बट क्वर्की एज अ टर्म डजंट लाइक साउंड वेरी नाइस कि मतलब कर भी सकता है, बट विटी इज अ बेटर टर्म. तो हमने उस हिसाब से 4-5 कीवर्ड्स रखे हुए थे. उसके साथ में हम अलग अलग कन्वर्से मतलब अलग अलग कॉम्बिनेशंस बैठा रहे थे. तो विटी रखा हुआ था. एंड देन देर वॉज अ बॉक्स ऑन द टेबल जिसके ऊपर लिखा हुआ था पीनट रॉक्स. दैट टेक्निकली वॉज अ बॉक्स ऑफ पीनट्स कोटेड विद चॉकलेट. ठीक है, थोड़ा सा रॉक वाला शेप दिया हुआ था. तो साक्षी ने उठाया, कहती पीनट रॉक्स रख लो. मैंने कहा यार पीनट रॉक्स तो मुश्किल है लेकिन विटी पीनट्स कर सकते हैं. एंड देन रेंडमली मैंने ट्राई कर लिया कि चलो लेट्स सर्च इट आउट. इंस्टाग्राम पे मिल रहा है, अरे मिल गया. यूट्यूब पे मिल रहा है, मिल गया. लिंक्डइन पे मिल रहा है, मिल गया. मैंने कहा भाई सब जगह मिल रहा है, ले लो ले लो ले लो. ठीक है, अगर कल को कुछ चेंज भी करना होगा बिकॉज अभी बहुत नेसेंट स्टेजेस पे है चैनल, तो मे बी वील फिगर आउट. लेकिन आई थिंक मैंने अपने जितने भी दोस्तों से डिस्कस किया, जहां पे भी लाइक मेरा जो फोकस ग्रुप जिसको कह सकते हैं, व्हेन आई टॉक टू देम, मोस्ट ऑफ देम लाइक्ड इट. एंड बाकी सारे ऑप्शंस के से कंपेयर करें तो इट वाज एक्चुअली मोर कैची. तो फिर हमने कहा लेट्स लेट इट बी विटी पीनट्स नाउ.
No, but that's a very interesting story in itself for anyone, like how they go about and figuring out that how they want to design the channel names or brand names. You only cannot restrict you have to get the uh, logic out that who you are as a brand, as a person, as an individual, as well as you have to figure out the feasibility of that thing. That's, is it already known? Are people getting it? Is it like available on the various channels? Like interesting enough to sound, connect with, and everything. And that's how you figured from the multiple angles for the all the factors. And so I think how I want to, I'm just like talking about this, how I design anything, like any product, any other thing. You figure out the factors which influences that, you write all the factors, and then you take a decision. That is the one single way to make any decision. Figure out the factors, take a decision on the basis of that.
Right, indeed. Okay. So I've been recently reading about passion. तो थोड़ा सा passion पे बात करते हैं. So what is passion according to Himanshu?
For me, it's overrated. uh, why? Because the passion grows with you, right? It changes with time. So the way you are changing, the pure passion is also changing. Something I used to love, like when in childhood, I'm not very passionate about that. And hobby is not passion, right? Something you like and something you keep wanna do it to, you really enjoy it every single time you do it. It's like very difficult. But the definition, let's talk about it again. What is passion? Like the passion definition of it is something you really really love to do repeatedly without getting bored, right? And finding that is super difficult. Finding that super difficult, that's why it is overrated for me. So something you get across on a daily basis, I think you should enjoy that more. So rather than talking about passion, I prefer to talk about that. Go out, explore, try multiple things, be more experimental in your life than following your passion. The moment you will be more experimental, you're bound to find something you like more than the other, one thing more than the other, obviously. And then eventually you will follow that path because it will be very difficult for you to ignore that thing, right? Like I think you have must have heard about this book or read this book, Ikigai, right? The four things they talk about: what you love, uh, what you're good at, what you get paid for, and there's one more thing: what the world wants. What the world wants, right? Finding this combination is such a difficult task. I never want anyone to focus on this so much that they waste their time in life just by figuring what is my passion, because probably it takes a lifetime to find that. So do not waste your time finding what your passion is. Probably give your this understanding that I want to be more experimental in my life. Like you are doing right now, you have a job, you're still doing YouTubing because you felt that you liked it. You don't know is it your passion or not right now. You will, if you will be able to do it for 2 years back to back every single day without getting bored, without feeling tired of it, then that's your, probably you will feel, oh, that's my passion. Whatever money I'll get out of it, I still want to do it. I'll be, profession and passion cannot be clubbed together so easily. It's very difficult to find something which world is ready to pay you for and you also love doing that. But there's one more thing I want to talk about this. You generally don't have one passion. You have multiple passions, right? You like multiple things to do. Like I like acting. Oh man, I enjoy acting. It's like you don't need to. I never get tired of it, right? Probably if I feel that I want to enroll myself in acting school and then I want to do it, I pursue it and professionally, then I might get tired of it. But I like it. I like talking, like trying to communicate my point across. Third thing is I like design. Fourth, I love something else also, like writing. I When I combine all of them, it's like if I use my writing, my video skills, my talking skills, and my design skills, I can create a beautiful podcast, or I can create a probably a very good talking show, or like small short videos, which will be better than most of the folks because they don't enjoy video, they don't enjoy uh, talking, they don't enjoy designing, writing. So when you're good at all these things, and if you look at the people who are really successful, they're not successful because of only one thing. Like they're a great writer, so they can become a great podcaster. No, they generally become a great podcaster when they enjoy the writing, as well as they enjoy the talking, as well as they enjoy the setup, design, all the technical management of it. So it's like passion is you have to love multiple things, and the fusion, when you create that fusion, that's what makes you unique and amazing and bound to get success. So I think I like few things, I love few things. I'm also trying to figure out what is that one fusion for me which will make me super successful someday. I don't know it till now, but I think designer Bani, as I said, I love design, I love business, probably at the intersection of this in such a beautiful organized environment. If I'll be able to create a world where how you can design or organize businesses itself, I might change the world for the better. So I'm also figuring out.
या सो इवन फॉर मी मुझे भी पैशन ना बहुत ओवर यूज्ड ओवर हाइप्ड ओवर एग्जेजरेटेड वर्ड लगता है मतलब वो इतना घिस गया है जस्ट लाइक द वर्ड स्टोरी टेलर क्योंकि जब से तमाशा रिलीज हुई एवरीवन बिकेम अ स्टोरी टेलर ऑन इंस्टाग्राम मतलब जिसको देखो भाई मैं स्टोरी टेलर मैं भी स्टोरी टेलर वैसे ही पैशन भी इतना यूज कर लिया लोगों ने मेरा पैशन ये है मैं अपने पैशन के लिए कमा रहा हूँ पैशन फॉलो करना है ब्ला 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 मतलब लोग अपने फाइनेंसेस नहीं देखते पहले पैशन के पीछे चले जाते हैं और उसके बाद में फैमिली का भी गुड़ गोबर करते हैं खुद का भी सो that's a big challenge right तो पैशन भी आई थिंक समवेयर आपको देख के करना पड़ता है परस्यू एंड यस एज यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट लाइक फाइंडिंग योर इकिगाई कि वो आपको पैसा भी दे आपको मजा भी आ रहा है दुनिया की प्रॉब्लम भी सॉल्व कर रहा है सब कुछ होना चाहिए तभी एक्चुअली आप उसको लॉन्ग टाइम तक सस्टेन कर सकते हो अदरवाइज आपको कहीं ना कुछ चैलेंज आ ही जाएगा एंड देन you turn out to be a mediocre guy you don't excel in whatever you are doing right बट हाँ पैशन की जो एक डेफिनेशन थी जो मेरे को मिथ्या लगता था वो मुझे मेरे एक he is also a mentor for me and I'll be soon recording a podcast with him as well so he changed the definition of passion for me and I hope मतलब वो और better elaborate कर पाए on the podcast but I would like to like take a snippet of it so what he said was कि डिजाइन एक्चुअली उनका पैशन है और वो पैशन इसलिए है बिकॉज इट डजेंट मैटर फॉर हिम कि वो उससे पैसा कमा रहे हैं या नहीं कमा रहे हैं इट डजेंट मैटर फॉर हिम कि उसको कोई और कैसे क्रिटिक करेगा या नहीं करेगा वो बस इसलिए कर रहे हैं क्योंकि वो करने में उनको मजा आता है सो दिस इज अ गाय हु हैज व्हाट अबाउट 12-13 years of experience now in the field of design and advertising and like product design and he is doing something called a daily UX task ठीक है आज भी वो बंदा रोज सुबह अपना कंप्यूटर स्टार्ट करता है और 1 घंटा एक रैंडम चीज बनाता है कुछ भी ठीक है जो वो कहीं पब्लिश नहीं कर रहा है कोई कंटेंट क्रिएशन नहीं हो रहा है कोई आपका ड्रिबल पे प्रोफाइल नहीं बन रहा कुछ नहीं ही इज जस्ट डूइंग इट फॉर हिमसेल्फ तो अगर आप वो चीज अचीव कर रहे हो व्हेन इट बिकम्स काइंड ऑफ अ मेडिटेशन फॉर यू आई थिंक वही पैशन होगा यार मतलब और मुझे पैशन की और कोई डेफिनेशन समझ नहीं आती है क्योंकि उसको ही इज जस्ट डूइंग इट टू अपस्किल हिमसेल्फ ही इज जस्ट डूइंग इट बिकॉज उसको मजा आ रहा है वो करने में ही इज जस्ट डूइंग इट out of to get nothing out of it technically right
Yeah, yeah.
okay next I want to talk about your journey from design to product management matlab what motivated you what was the switch what was that trigger
I figured that this user experience design, user interface design is just a small subset of the entire consumer experience. That's what my uh, like. This is an epiphany I had. I figured that if I wanted to build a great product at the core, I need to look at from the other perspectives as well. The technology perspectives, all the human interactions happening, all the communication interactions like customer support happening. If the sales agent is going, then the human interaction is happening. All the communication, the copies and everything returned, which are received by the customers. Loading speed on the app, device they are using, internet bandwidth they have. I need to get few more things other than the user experience design and the user interface. So when things are beyond that thing, that convinced me that if I, because the idea was never to become the designer or the PM, the idea was always to build something which other people will be able to use. Now, if they don't use it, if it is not helping them, my purpose is defeated, right? So, luckily, I was very lucky to go through this transition very naturally. So the story is that I got hired as a uh, design head uh, at Xyla Health, but instantly when I launched the first version of the product, within like we literally launched the first tab within first 30 days itself of my joining. And when we did that, we figured that people are not be we do not have the enough the required results or the desired results on our dashboards. So when we see why this is happening, the we figured that the reason is that it's not getting loaded on certain devices. The UI is looking so bad on certain devices that people are not going ahead with it. The loading speed is really high. It's the crash and the errors are so much. We figured that we have to fix it, right? So I got in touch with my backend guy, my front end guy, my CTO, and we fixed that. We along with that, we also figured that some uh, text is not understood by our audience uh, in the literal sense, the way we wanted to convey it to. So we changed that as well. So changing all these things made us achieve the required metric that okay, now if our login percentage was 79%, now it's like 99% people are at least going through our login percentage. Whoever is downloading and launching the first screen, so basically when they are opening the splash screen, from that moment onwards to the login, we are achieving the required metric over there. Now when we are seeing that thing is done, sorted, my founder also saw that, and she figured that oh, Himanshu understands all this. She elevated me to be a head of product and design both. I was looking at both the functions, which I was looking at unknowingly. So neither I was aware of the design word, neither I was aware of the product word. Like way many years back, I got the design like that only that I was doing it. Somebody said, "Oh, you are doing a UI UX job." I okay. I thought, okay, great. And then somebody said you are doing a product management job. Okay, okay, I'm good. That's good to have. And someday, like literally, I want people to see and they say, ki, "Oh, you are doing a good CEO job. We are elevating you to the CEO," and that's what I wanted to be, right? Uh,
Nice, yeah.
somebody कोई देख के मुझे बोले यार तुम ही हो अगले सुंदर पिचाई हाँ I that's what we wanted.
Nice, nice. Nice aspiration. I hope you achieve it soon. फिर हायर कर लेना ब्रो मुझे, ठीक है?
I feel like Witty Peanuts are going to get more famous before me.
अरे.
So so I'll keep coming on your show and I'll ask for the revenue share on that side then.
ठीक है. इंशाल्लाह. ओके. ठीक है, तो प्रोडक्ट और डिजाइन वाला थोड़ा सा you've given the idea. Like it happened very naturally to you, but were there any difficulties in transitioning from design to product management?
For me, it is not. But in the general aspect, if you try to say, see, there is difficulty because obviously the world looks at you like, oh, you are not there yet, right? This so when you have a competition, like already 1,000 people are applying for a job, and out of them 60% already have the title of product manager. You feel that you want to choose who already been there, done that, understood that world better than the other person. So if I want to move from design to product in a literal sense, it's not that easy, right? Though you are closer to that function than any other function. You're also thinking about experience. The other person, the product manager, is also thinking about the experience. They are thinking of more set of experiences, and eventually if you feel you also understand that deal, eventually you will be there, right? So first you get the mindset and then you get the job. So the people who are closer to this and they are living it on a daily basis, which product designer does, out of them few who evolve their mindset of not limiting their understanding, that they want to design the experiences for the user not only from the design, but they want to choose the design which is actually more technically feasible, uh, and easy to be on the multiple devices that will work better, uh, and that understanding itself evolved them to become a product manager, right? So it's difficult. It's not like impossible. That's definitely easier than a techie, or than a like a non product function like finance, or marketing, to get into these roles. They, for them it's even further more difficult, right? So definitely it's difficult. For me, I was lucky. I was destined to be here probably. Um, but yes, it's not that straightforward. They have to put the effort to be here.
So, if you want to switch from a design role to a product management role, what do you think are the core skills that one should pursue?
The only thing you need is you need a customer obsession. Okay. And obsession, though I do not like the word obsession, I feel that it's like the madness is like doesn't make sense anywhere, but that's how the world calls it. I call it like probably customer experience. So if you really worry about, or if you care about the customer experience, you itself will realize that there are more things, which is understanding the technology. If it's going to take more time to user to load that, probably because you understand the technical architecture behind that, you automatically feel there are other variations of my design which I can put across, so that it will be better for my user, not only from the design, but as well as from the uh, tat perspective, how much time it is taking to load the screen, or to understand the screen, right? You give the enough value to as well as not only the design but the copy at the same point of time. Sometimes you will be able to prioritize this, that the the screen, how it looks, is of a less importance than how it is getting the job done. Aesthetics are equally important. I really value that, but uh, talking about the functional thing should get completed, right? If you have like recent example, my internet was not working, right? The Airtel had a beautiful app. I opened it, but I was not able to find where to raise, how I can raise a complaint, how that thing can get sorted. Now, what's the point of a beautiful UI over there? The point is to figure that out. And then they have a understanding, like, okay, you go to a Wi-Fi section and then you open and it will start searching for your router. It was not able to search for the router, and then you just said retry. Now, as a designer, I can say, oh, my product manager told me to do this. If it is not able to search, just put a retry. But am I curious enough to discuss with my PM? The user was not able to find the router. He is worried, right? What you want to do next? Are you thinking about this or not? And when you make that problem your problem, the customer's problem your own problem, that moment you start becoming a PM. So the one skill, I think you need lot of understanding on business side, marketing side, tech side, design side, uh, uh, like all the
You're
possible
forgetting data.
areas. Data, yeah, yeah, yeah. So all, see, I am not saying these things because anything what you require, it's all, they are just the input metrics, right? Data, design, understanding, and everything, to achieve the outcome of a customer experience. Probably asking the right question is more important than just solving yourself. So how I'm able to do it, why this user is not able to do it, and how can I make it uh, achievable for my user. Then I probably go to designer, marketer, data guy, and they are the experts of their own field, and they will help me to answer that question. So as we talk about generative AI, right, the prompt is more important than the uh, somebody who is figuring out, and they are able to, large language models are able to respond you back. So if somebody asks the right question, they get the right answer. Are people asking the right question? Not exactly. I think that is the challenge. Once you start asking the right questions, uh, and you will care about the end customer, you make their problems your own problem, you're there.
Right. One thing that I would like to add to your feedback on that app, I think it is anyway a poor experience design. मतलब अगर उसको उसको नॉर्मल प्रोडक्ट मैनेजमेंट की तरफ फोकस भी नहीं करना है, कस्टमर ऑब्सेशन भी नहीं करना है, लेकिन एटलीस्ट आप बेसिक प्रॉब्लम तो सॉल्व करना चाह रहे हो, सिर्फ सुंदर यूआई बनाने से कुछ नहीं होता, राइट? सो व्हेन यू आर सेइंग कि वहां सिर्फ रीट्राई लिखा हुआ आ रहा है एंड देयर इज नो अदर वे आउट, देयर इज नो एक्सप्लेनेशन, द कॉपी इज पुअर, right? You don't have enough options to figure it out or solve it out. तो anyway वो बुरा experience design है, एयरटेल designer, I'm sorry if you get offended, but please work on that app. I also think there are a lot of issues, especially India के अंदर, मतलब आप जो भी apps
Have you
चलती हैं
worked at
आपकी.
Airtel? You worked at
No,
Airtel, right?
I haven't.
You were the one who designed that app, right?
No, I.
I'm just kidding.
I hope I would have had, but then you wouldn't have had these problems today.
Oh, what a pitch.
नहीं, सीरियसली, मतलब एक्सपीरियंस इज नॉट अबाउट यूआई एट ऑल. यस, good aesthetics are a very important aspect of the overall experience, because aesthetic usability effect is also another principle from usability heuristics and what Nielsen Norman group usually
Yeah,
suggests.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
But at the same time, अगर आपका फंक्शन आपकी फॉर्म को मीट नहीं कर रहा है, तो फिर उस फॉर्म का कोई काम नहीं है. मतलब कितना भी सुंदर बना लो, कितना भी सुंदर बना लो, अगर अगर वो बेसिक प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व नहीं कर सकता मेरे लिए, तो भाई कचरा है वो फोन, कचरा है वो ऐप. आई डोंट वांट टू यूज इट,
Correct,
राइट?
correct, correct. I think the one simple understanding for this also as a product designer to product management uh, movement is once, and I met really very less number of folks who are interested in and curious enough to understand the problem in real. Most of the folks who are expert at their own fields, they say, "Oh, PM ने ये बोला है तो हमने ये कर दिया." Techies, designers, data folks, and everyone. I feel that sometimes this is okay, but more of the times, if you try to get the problem statement right, you will become a better designer as well as you are tending moving towards the PM role already because you are interested in the problem, you are interested in the use case, then just doing the job itself, right? And the job of a PM is to just do that. If I stop thinking about customer experience, which obviously should help achieve the business objective. But if I stop thinking about, but it's all backtrace, right? If I do not think about consumer experience, business is never going to get benefit out of it. Because somebody out there will do that job already in a poor manner, and they are doing it. If you are doing it in a better way, then only the customer is going to migrate and come to you.
राइट.
For getting that shift done, you have to do a brilliant job. And if you're more curious, you're thinking about more you're doing the brainstorming sessions or discussions with your product managers, then you are already getting yourself elevated to that role.
नो, ऑफ कोर्स, मतलब मेरा तो ये मानना है कि इफ यू आर अ डिजाइनर और इफ यू आर एन इंजीनियर, एंड ऑफ द डे देर इज जस्ट वन गोल कि आपका प्रोडक्ट बेस्ट होना चाहिए. एंड फॉर दैट यू पुट इन ऑल द इनोवेशन दैट यू कैन विद इन द लिमिटेड टाइम फ्रेम्स. ये जो वो वाली आइडियोलॉजी है कि भाई प्रोडक्ट मैनेजर ने बोला है तो कर रहा है, स्टोरी आई है तो करा है, मतलब आप अपनी साइड से कोई लीड नहीं कर रहे हो किसी भी चीज को, आप कहीं इनोवेट नहीं कर रहे हो, आप कुछ अच्छे सोल्यूशन देने की कोशिश ही नहीं कर रहे हो, आपको जो बोला गया है और आप सिर्फ उसी पे काम करने की कोशिश कर रहे हो, देन ब्रो एआई इज गोइंग टू गेट योर जॉब. Right. End of the day,
Yeah,
creativity would survive in the upcoming years. अगर आप अपनी साइड से कुछ एडिशनल करना चाह रहे हो, एज यू सेड कि वो प्रॉम्प्ट देना, दैट अगर वो प्रॉम्प्ट आप अपने आप सोच रहे हो एज अ डिजाइनर, एज एन इंजीनियर, एज अ डेटा गाय, एज अ प्रोडक्ट मैनेजर, देन यस, it would help you like retain your job, it would help you grow even with the help of AI. बट अगर आप
yeah,
सिर्फ एक टूल हो, अगर आप एक माउस हो और वो माउस को चलाने के लिए देर इज अ प्रोडक्ट मैनेजर, देन भाई गई तेरी नौकरी.
तूने तू तो गया काम से बिकॉज यू सेड प्रोडक्ट डिजाइनर्स, तुमने प्रोडक्ट डिजाइनर्स को चूहा बोला है आज.
नहीं, मैं प्रोडक्ट डिजाइनर को नहीं, मैं प्रोडक्ट डिजाइनर, प्रोडक्ट इंजीनियर, डेटा एनालिटिक्स, इवन द प्रोडक्ट मैनेजर्स जो कि सिर्फ बिजनेस के हुक्म पे चलते हैं, मैं हर किसी की बात कर रहा हूँ. इफ यू आर जस्ट अ टूल फॉर द टॉप लेवल मैनेजमेंट, देन यू आर गॉन, बिकॉज टूल तो एक एआई वाला आएगा और वो इतना बेटर और एफिशिएंट होगा और इतना सस्ता होगा कि तुम्हारी लग जाएगी. But
Correct.
if you are giving some value other than being a tool, then if you are using, I mean, I was listening to this thing from this, I guess, the, I don't know the exact pronunciation, Robert Kiyosaki, the guy behind Rich Dad Poor Dad. He said the actual game is here, इस इधर और इधर के बीच में जो ये है, that's where the actual game is. अगर ये सॉल्व कर लिया तुमने तो बाकी सारी दुनिया जीतना बहुत इजी है. So
Correct.
that's true for every job, every position that you are looking for. अगर आप कुछ भी बनना चाह रहे हो, वो अगर आपने उसको फिगर आउट कर लिया कि कैसे करना है, कैसे मुझे कस्टमर को खुश करना है, कैसे मैं उस प्रोडक्ट को अच्छा बना सकता हूँ, देन यू विल बी एक्सेलिंग एट योर जॉब. क्योंकि दैट्स वेयर योर क्यूरियोसिटी इज. अगर अगर क्यूरियोसिटी ही नहीं है तो फिर ठीक है, फिर आप टूल हो और जाएगी नौकरी.
So as you explained, right, curiosity is the deal breaker.
हम्म. ओके. चलो, मेरे को लगा कुछ आएगा इसके आगे और.
नहीं नहीं, आई हर चीज में बड़ा आंसर दे रहा हूँ, मैंने सोचा इसमें एक लाइन मारते हैं.
What about the perks of being a designer who has turned into a product manager? कुछ फायदे भी होते हैं उसके अलग से?
The only and only thing is evolved mindset. And we are here to become a better thinker than yesterday we were, right? So my thinking was limited to design, which I enhanced by understanding the various other aspects of building a product. And now I'm even expanding it further by understanding more fields like sales, marketing, finance, business finance, and everything around that. Uh, Probably expanding it more further, like how the investment works in the at the VC level, and then I get the entire space. My thinking will be evolved so that where whatever product I want to build in whatever industry and for which user, I'll be able to instantly hear the idea and be able to say understand it if it will work or not, if it's going to be valuable addition to the world or not. And that is why you feel that, right? Elevator pitch, as we call it, like you go to VCs and you give a 30 seconds pitch. They are able to contemplate everything in that 30 seconds. Why we cannot think everything about that in 30 seconds? It's the knowledge, but the mindset also.
Right.
If you want to expand your mindset beyond a function, then I think expanding the getting into the role which where you will be responsible for more functional areas or for a better output or yeah, for a better output overall, I think eventually you will be able to achieve the impact and be able to contribute to the world.
And how important do you think is for a PM to be creative?
Oh, like it's like no brainer, right? That uh, the one person who is approaching a e-commerce app, the other PM is also approaching a e-commerce app. The famous example, Jabong Mintra. I think I'm a big fan of Mintra app since their inception, right? Why? Right? They were so creative. This person had the uh, understanding that the good design along with the good clothes along with the right positioning and everything, which is a basic product management, but being creative with it, how they want to put the clothes, they want to display that, right? They and they created a similar kind of thing. The creativity is understanding what is happening in the outside world, merging it with a digital thing, which is creating a fusion. Creativity is something you create, right? Which you imagine that how the world will look with this new thing. That's what creativity. You create something new, and that is what the new. When you create fusion, you create something new. You try to use the old behavior and turning into a new thing, new behavior. That's what the creativity is, and PMs need to have that all the time, all the time, or at least they should be, till the time they don't have it, they cannot extract it out from their own teams as well, from the developers, designers, from the data teams as well. So creativity is like a breakfast. No, no, actually, no. Data is a breakfast, Creativity, probably we can say, is the lunch of a PM.
How much hustle did you do? And do you appreciate the hustle culture? Do you are you more into work life balance? क्या क्या चलता है दिमाग में हिमांशु के?
It feels like everybody wants work-life balance. I also want work-life balance, but my ambition never lets me to sit idle. So that itself turned me into a hustler. Okay, because like if I'm sitting, I feel that, oh, I'm wasting my time probably, and I can utilize to do something else. But earlier I had this thought that I want to do something. Now it's something like I automatically have some task on my plate, and which drives me, which I'm keep doing on a regular basis. So on Sundays, Saturdays, it's not like I'm not even thinking that I want to sit idle. It's like already there is something which I have my eyes to do, which I have like set my goal that I want to do it, and it's already happening. I don't know where this is coming from. Probably, I think every ambitious person cannot remove the hustle out of their life. They cannot remove this. If they are ambitious, they are trying to do something beyond their own capacity. Either they are learning, either they are executing, or they're trying something else which is beyond them. So I think hustling is a part of a growth. Every person who wants to grow, they hustle, and it will never. There are other sides to it. Okay, there is a point to a hustle. Hustle don't mean get into the become that person who is stressful, who is mentally disturbed, uh, and even though if you are getting really bothered, you are still continuing. Hustling means like hustling also requires your mind to be healthy, your body to be healthy, and the people who get this balance right, that you have to invest in your body, you have to invest in your mind. Once you do that, you will be able to hustle better, right? So I think people got only the partial understanding of it, that they have to hustle, they have to put a lot of effort to become something they want to, but they did not get the understanding that it's the overall mix. Your mind, your body, your breaks, everything is important to hustle in the right direction. Do work late night, probably do work on Saturday, Sundays, put more hours, but simultaneously figure your off time, simultaneously figure when do you give when do you exercise with your mind, when do you exercise your body, right? Those things are equally important. So yeah.
Is this the reason why there's such negativity has been connected to the term hustle these days? क्योंकि लोगों ने उसको समझ ही गलत लिया, लोगों को लगा कि बस करते रहो। आई थिंक एक डायलॉग आपके टीवीएफ पिक्चर्स में भी था, सर झुकाओ काम करो, सर झुकाओ काम करो। सो इज दिस द अंडरस्टैंडिंग, और उसकी वजह से आप हसल के साथ में एक नेगेटिविटी कनेक्ट कर रहे हो इन लाइक इन द जनरल वर्ल्ड?
Yet I see hustle as a different word than being tasked with work. Okay, if I'm in job and somebody else is telling me to what to do, that's a pressure, that's not a hustle. Hustle is something I want to do, I am driving it myself. That's what hustle means to me. Probably it would have a different meaning to the world, but hustle means it's coming within and I want to pursue it. Pressure is something which is external. Hustle is never external, according to me. So, hustle is internal, pressure is external. And people are generally stressed uh, and getting into the bad health, and wrong things happen to them because of the pressure, not because of the hustle. When they hustle, they get really happy, they feel they are learning, they are growing. So hustling is never bad, pressure is really bad. So probably remove yourself, if you can, from the environment where you're pressured, exposed to an environment where you are already doing good and you have the time and bandwidth to hustle, to experiment with your life. So I think that's what I feel probably, and I'm lucky to be in such a place. How there's a person called Gary Tan. He's an entrepreneur, coder, designer, turned VC, PM. He has done everything in life pretty much. I think partner at YC also. He says there are two types of people: above the API, below the API. API is the like the product layer. The people who are shaping the APIs, they are building the API. They are the ones who are driving the future. The below the API, like probably the delivery folks and everyone, they are just doing what the API is telling them to do. Like ye karo, wo karo, NL. So with the effort, you will never be able to achieve a lot of things. But with if you transition yourself into the roles which are above the API, you are always in a situation to transform the world around you, like product designers, coders, uh, marketing folks, brand managers, PMs. Everyone are above the API folks, and they are changing the world. So if other people are transitioning themselves to those areas, um, probably uh, you will love to hustle and do not feel any pressure in terms of like work. वो जो crazy pressure है कि ये करो वो करो इतना टाइम में इतना deliver करो, and they are always scared of their losing their jobs.
No, I think when you're saying ki pressure is external, hustle is coming from the inside, that absolutely makes sense. मतलब हसल ज़रूरी ये भी नहीं है कि आपकी जॉब से रिलेटेड ही हसल हो। ज़रूरी ये भी नहीं है कि आपकी आप जिस फील्ड में अपना काम कर रहे हो, नॉट नॉट एग्ज़ैक्टली इन योर रोल, बट उस फील्ड से रिलेटेड हसल हो, ये भी ज़रूरी नहीं है। I might be working as a product manager, but at the same time, I could be hustling hard to become a very good musician, right? So hustle indeed is something that should come from the inside. अगर वो किसी और के प्रेशर से आ रही है, then वो hustle नहीं है bros. So as simple as that.
Correct. Yeah. एंड मुझे अच्छा प्रोडक्ट मैनेजर बनना है, मुझे कुछ करना है तो मैं एफर्ट मारूंगा. अगर मुझे नहीं बनना है तो मैं एफर्ट नहीं मारूंगा. अगर मैं एफर्ट मार रहा हूँ तो उसके बहुत सारे रिवॉर्ड्स हैं विच आई एम गेटिंग अनलॉक्ड, राइट? इफ आई फील कि यार मैं मेंटली स्ट्रेस्ड हूँ बट मैं बेटर पीएम बनना चाहता हूँ और उसके लिए मैं एफर्ट मार रहा हूँ, वो चीज़ कभी भी वर्कआउट कर ही नहीं पाएगी. अगर मैं मेंटली स्ट्रेस्ड हूँ ऑलरेडी तो मैं कैसे बनूंगा वो? मतलब बीइंग मोर काम एंड कंपोज्ड एंड टेकिंग बेटर डिसीजंस आल्सो पार्ट ऑफ द जॉब. So I have to fix that first. By fixing that first itself, I'm becoming a better PM. So most of the people are not able to separate these things out, including me. Sometimes I'm also not be able to do that. Very few people can do that. Uh, तो मुझे लगता है इसके बारे में इतना सोचना नहीं चाहिए. हाउ पीपल शुड डू इट इज, एक्सटर्नल प्रेशर आ रहा है ना, तो जितना उनसे लिया जाता है कंफर्टेबली दे शुड टेक इट. If beyond a point they feel they are, because of that their health is getting impacted, their life is getting impacted, they should, if they have the uh, ability, they should definitely move out of that ecosystem, and they should follow a life where they can do whatever they can along with the little pressure. The good pressure is also good, little external pressure is also good to drive you upwards, but beyond a point, if it is impacting you, it's not good, right? So hustle obviously is great. Hustle cannot be bad that way.
And what about work life balance? अगर सिर्फ और सिर्फ like as an employee बात करें, तो how much do you think should be your like your leave time, your break time? How do you think about it?
I definitely care about work life balance, literally, because I figured one thing, uh, that as I'm exposed myself to multiple things, when you spend time at some other place, right, in an off environment, you're still learning, your personality is still growing, right? And uh, what the work life means doing what you want to do personally. Probably I want to shoot an episode on podcast episode, I want to travel the world, I want to cook something, and in that I want to play sports or something else, and in those things I'm still growing as an individual, which will eventually help me to grow at my job as well, and I'll be more efficient, more productive, I can be like a faster thinker. So बैलेंस इज रियली रियली इम्पोर्टेंट. लाइक एक टाइम पे एक ही प्रॉब्लम पे बहुत सारा टाइम स्पेंड करके nobody has been very productive. So if I am, if I'm constantly working, actually I lost my thinking ability. The moment I go out, take a break, my thinking ability gets rejuvenated. And that's why people talk about how why sleep is so important. Sleep is the biggest break you take in a day, and just like one third of your life goes in a sleep. It's because of that only, right? So break is such an important thing. That's why work-life balance is also an important thing. People should not ignore it. If you can definitely do something more happily, uh, growing, learning, do it. Why not?
सो आई थिंक हमने अभी तक 3 बार टेक अ ब्रेक बोल दिया है. 2-4 बार और बोल दूंगा. किटकैट प्लीज स्पॉन्सर अस. एंड यस हिमांशु, हाउ डू यू टेक अ ब्रेक?
Oh, there's like multiple ways I take a break. I think the recent best I'm enjoying these days is sports. I love to take a short breaks in terms of playing table tennis in my office. Uh, Probably after office, I go to play badminton. Uh, Me and my wife are planning to enroll into a swimming class on weekends, which is
नाइस.
like a even better and more relaxing. So these are probably a short breaks. A very small breaks are like my personal favorite is having chai alone or probably with some friends, family. Uh, like 10-15 minutes break. That's also I love. So chai is something I really really enjoy and have a great break. Then I do these sports as a primary something which rejuvenates me a lot. On weekend, uh, I basically go on a walk. We do go to park for picnic. We go for a movie sometimes. Me and my wife. I go have a beer with my friends sometimes. Those are my like a weekly breaks. And obviously, it's also a good thing that whenever I feel like oh, these days I'm not being productive, I'm not able to think. I realize I get the sense of it. I figured that I need a good break, like a 5 to 7 to 10 days, 15 days kind of a break. And then I probably discuss with my team and then take a break for
Okay.
that to go somewhere, to be literally off the work. Uh, that's very much important to do it like 2-3 times a year.
पिक्चर अभी बाकी है मेरे दोस्त.
या सो दिस इज द एंड ऑफ पार्ट 1. अगर आपको ये पार्ट अच्छा लगा है तो सेकंड पार्ट में हमने और इंटरेस्टिंग चीज़ों की बात करी है, लाइक ओला स्कूटर कंट्रोवर्सी, एक ऐसी टेक्नोलॉजी जिसके बारे में मुझे भी इस पॉडकास्ट के पहले नहीं पता था, एंड अ फ्यू मोर अदर थिंग्स. सो आई होप यू विल लाइक दैट पार्ट एज वेल. तो वो पार्ट कल रिलीज हो रहा है. डू चेक इट आउट. सी यू देन. बाय.